Same exact thing. Chicken, rice, sauce. They didn't reinvent anything. They didn't change anything. They're like, we're changing the game. We're moving to AI, and we're going to keep this app. No, they just keep it really simple. And so we get fancy. And so many times we build $1 million, $2 million business in home services, and we somehow think that we got to move on to the next thing. When if you just take what you're done and just copy and paste it over and over again, and now this just becomes a leadership game of finding great general managers and finding great people, that becomes the obstacle, which is, by the way, not easy. That's why in the book I talk about the whole constraint of the copy and paste method, i.e. stage number 6, is finding great general managers. In other words, becoming a better leader. Hard skill. Easier, in my opinion, than reinventing the business model that you've already built. If you've got through stage 5 and you have $1 million business pumping out $200,000 in profits, why would I go try to reinvent the wheel and have to create brand new systems for whole new departments when I can just take that model and copy and paste it over and over again? And in doing so, I will have to gain the skill of leadership and managing managers. And that can take 3 to 4 years. But I believe that is a more scalable thing once you figure out that leadership hack. Like once you figure out that skill and you gain that, and it can take a few years, and you will churn through a few general managers, and it only takes reps many times to actually solve the obstacle of not having that skill. But once you have it, you should be able to copy and paste this much faster. And only then, after stage 6, when you have so much distributable cash, you can't copy and paste fast enough, that is when I would invest into things outside of the industry. Diversifying into stocks, real estate, and other businesses. What's crazy is a lot of us jump from number 4 to number 7. And then we wonder like, oh man, stocks like making 8, 9%. Great. Your business can annihilate that. If you can put $200,000 into a new location, and in a matter of 3 to 5 years, it's giving you $150,000 in distributions, there's no stock market or real estate market that's going to compete with that. And what's crazy, if you've done it once, the likelihood of doing it again, much higher. Also, why in the world would I get into another industry like the stock market or real estate where everyone else is competing in that market and you are at best average in that industry, when if you have built $1 million business that has a general manager in place that is able to produce 6 figures of distributable cash to you as the owner, you are in the top 1 to 2% of your industry. Why would you not use that advantage to just copy and paste it? Here's why. Leadership is very, very difficult. And we hit up against this leadership problem when we start having to go to number 6. And it is finding more general managers, finding and attracting great talent, keeping them, compensating them, motivating them, inspiring them. That is a hard skill. It is not easy. But many times we hit up against it and then we just think, I've got to go to a different industry. I've got to go add more services. I've got to add more something. This real estate thing is so much better. Like, eventually, it's not McDonald's. They're serving burgers. They're doing real estate. And we give all the reasons as to why another industry or another service is going to somehow be the next leg in our entrepreneurial journey. When in reality, we have simply hit up against the obstacle of leadership. And for the person that is doing $2, $3 million, many times it's actually a function of they failed to solve the leadership problem, so they stayed in operations.